Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my kitchen. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I wanted to do a really simple, realistic what I eat in the day as a postpartum mama trying to shed baby weight, keep that protein intake up, but still eat really delicious foods that are satisfying and fulfilling, satiating, all of that. So I already have my breakfast ready. I'm gonna show you in a second. Also, please apologies for my ratty t-shirt. I did have on a really cute pajamas. You see, they're like striped and blue, very cute, very cute. It's a whole vibe. It's like, you know, a little button down, cute. But last night, I saw a TikTok recipe for a silken, what am I calling this? A silken chocolate pudding is what I saw. And I was like, that sounds delicious. I want to make it. I did make it. I got chocolate all over myself, so I had to take that shirt off and put this one on. So that's what we're dealing with. So on to breakfast. I am trying to keep my protein up, and what I found to be helpful is using cottage cheese. I really like cottage cheese. I think it's very versatile. You can have it either sweet or savory. And I think today is going to be maybe a little bit of both. But I have a piece of sourdough toast with cottage cheese that I put in the air fryer. So, because I feel like it's weird eating cottage cheese on bread, and if it's not toasted, like it's just weird. So I toasted it up. I have 2 eggs with kind of a runny yolk, and I have my coffee. So I haven't tracked how much protein is in all of this. I do use, what is that app? Cronometer. I do use Cronometer and I don't use it religiously. I don't use it very strictly. I'm definitely trying to get into that habit a little bit more again, because sometimes I think I'm eating enough protein and I'm not. And sometimes I think, well, my calories are fine. I haven't really eaten that much today. And then they're way over because small things throughout the day add up to quite a bit at the end of the day. So I'm gonna put all of this into my Cronometer, and then I will share with you, or I'll put it up on the screen, how many calories and proteins and carbs are in this meal. But I think I'm gonna top off my cottage cheese sourdough with some crunchy garlic. This thing is so good. I eat this on eggs. I eat this on like noodles and dumplings and everything else. It's delicious. So I'm gonna put some of that on there. What are the calories on this? 1 teaspoon is 35 calories, 0 protein, no surprise there, and less than 1 grams of carbs. So really this is just fat, 3.5 grams of fat. So I'll use a little bit of that. And then I also picked this up from Sprouts a while back, and I've been eating this with like little popcorn shrimp. Sometimes I just want a little snacky snack, so I'll grab some of those little frozen popcorn shrimp and I'll throw this on top, and it's so good. It is the Dumpling Daughter Spicy Sweet Soy Secret Sauce. Really, really good. So you have to shake it up really well because it kind of separates a bit. But this has like that sweetness and that spice is really good. So I might drizzle some of that on top of the sourdough cottage cheese thing, and I have my coffee. I refuse to drink my coffee with sugar-free creamers and all of that. First of all, I don't even like using coffee creamers most of the time because they're filled with so much shit, like so many chemicals. It's just not good for you. And in my mind, I would much rather just have a tablespoon of brown sugar or organic cane sugar as opposed to having a creamer that, yes, it is 0 calories, 0 sugar, or low calorie, but it has like 20 ingredients for a creamer. I think that's insane. So for my coffee, I just have a little bit of half and half. And when I mean a little bit, I mean a little bit, because I kind of like it still darkish, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And that might be a lot for some people, and I understand, but I like my coffee a little bit on the sweeter side, so that is what I do. I refuse to give up my coffee. I feel like I've already tweaked it and adjusted, because I used to love having my coffee with evaporated milk. It is my all-time favorite way of having coffee, is with evaporated milk and brown sugar. But evaporated milk has carrageenan in it, and I'm really trying to stay away from some of that stuff. So half and half, simple ingredients, no extra stuff in it. It's just milk and cream, that's it. So I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna eat this. I will come back later on if I happen to have a snack or anything like that. I'm not entirely sure. I've mentioned it in a few videos already, but I have a very slow digestive system. I don't have gastroparesis, thank God, but it is close in that, it's in that realm. So I do have to be a little bit more mindful, which I have not always been. And I need to be a little bit more mindful now with how much I'm eating without giving my body the proper amount of time to digest all of that food. So ideally I eat something and I wait at least 3 hours to eat anything else, whether it's a snack, a little tiny something. I need to wait the 3 hours to give my body time to digest my food. So I'm gonna have this breakfast now. It is 10:34, so a little bit of a later start because I was doing laundry and all that stuff in the morning. I just wasn't super hungry, but I'm gonna sit down and eat this now. So most likely, if I do eat again, it might be a little snack before dinner time, but maybe not because dinner time's a little on the earlier side. I don't know, we'll see. But I do know that I want to show you guys the Silken tofu recipe. I already have a batch made in the fridge, but I want to make some more because I know that that's something that I will literally eat every single night. It's delicious. So I'm gonna make another batch. I will make it with you guys. I did order little 4-ounce mason jars so that I can portion control them. I do need to add that into Cronometer and see how many calories are per little cup, and you know, we'll go through all of that later, but I'm super excited for that. And then later on for dinner, I know for sure what we're having for dinner today because I've been seeing that viral lazy dumpling situation on TikTok. It looks delicious. I actually have a pack of ground pork in the back and all the ingredients to make it, and I purchased little wonton wrappers. So we're gonna make that together, and it better be freaking delicious because my hopes are high. Anyway, let me sit down, let me eat. I will come back to you guys in a little bit whenever I do eat something else.
2 hours later.
All right, guys, so it's been a few hours since I last checked in with you guys. I did just have some chocolate milk. Was it the best idea? No, but it is 20 grams of, well, actually, I wouldn't even say 20 grams because I had been sipping on it throughout the last few days. So it was like here. So I counted it as 1.5 servings, and that still gives me 15 grams of protein. So I counted as a win, and I think it was like 300 something calories, but it is the Kelowna Supernatural chocolate milk. I like the Kelowna brand in general. They have that kind of whole milk that has the cream on top, which I absolutely love. But I had this, and I have some broccoli from last night's dinner that I'm gonna heat up and have that as well. And that's gonna be technically my lunch for the day. But I also wanted to share with you guys this Bloom Clear protein powder. It is 20 grams of protein for 1 scoop of this. The only thing I will say is that you have to blend it in, or you have to shake it in a blender bottle and then pour it over ice. You can't, like, you know, have your cup of ice and then, you know, it's not going to work. You have to really shake it out really, really good to dissolve it. But if you guys saw my last video, at the very end, I tried out a brand called Array, and that one I believe was 15 grams of protein per stick, but it was like electrolytes, collagen, protein all in one. I really wasn't a fan of that one. I think in the video I was like, it's okay. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Like, you know, it's not something that I would look forward to drinking. And then I sat on it for a little bit and I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to spend $35 on something that I really don't like. So I ended up returning it. I picked up this one and I believe it's $30 at Target, but they had some coupons. So I ended up getting it for like $22, $23. So I'm going to heat up my broccoli and then make a serving of this. So this will give me 20 grams of protein, like I said, for only 90 calories, 1 gram of carb, and 80 grams of sodium. And this strawberry watermelon flavor, it's actually pretty good. It really just tastes like juice in my opinion, but I like to water it down because I don't know how to explain it. It tastes like juice, but you know that it's not regular juice, if that makes sense. Like, there really isn't a lot of aftertaste, nothing like that. It's not chalky. It does taste really good. I actually enjoy this one, but I like to water it down a little bit more so that it's like a hint of flavor in the water. I'd rather do it that way. So let me show you how I make this, and then I'm gonna get to editing this video actually for a little bit, and I will come back when it's time to make dinner and the silken tofu pudding. So while I let that foam come down, I'm gonna just pop this into the microwave, and that is my quote unquote lunch, this chocolate milk and protein drink. I have 5 of the dumplings, a half of cup of rice, and 51 grams of avocado. Again, I will be putting all of this up on the screen and I'll tell you like what my total is at this point, but this is what it looks like. Looks good. So I'm gonna enjoy this. I already had that Bloom protein drink, so I'm just gonna have water with this. And then the very last thing that I'll probably have today is some of that tofu pudding, and that should be a wrap for today. I think I'm at like 75 grams of protein for the day, so definitely a little bit lower than where I want to be. So I don't know if I will do that protein pudding today or do a protein shake at night, but I will still come back at some point and show you guys how to make that protein pudding. But I'm gonna sit down, enjoy this. I have my daughter's plate, my mom's plate. So I'm gonna pass out plates, sit down and eat, and I will come back when I either make my shake or another batch of that protein pudding. So it's a few days later. I don't think I ever finished out the video, so I want to finish it out here. I will put on the screen, if I haven't already, what the calories and protein and all that were for those little Silken tofu pudding cups. I had the idea and it completely slipped my mind because I believe there were only 4 grams of protein per little cup and 260 calories if I'm not mistaken. Now I eat half of the cup because it looks like a small amount, but I mean for me it actually is like a decent amount and it's very rich. So I only end up eating really half of it. But my thought was to add in a scoop of chocolate protein powder to up the protein, and I didn't do that. But for the next time, I definitely want to do that to see how it tastes. Hopefully it still tastes the same and I can enjoy like a chocolate pudding but with a little bit more protein. But for that day, I wanted to bump up my protein without bumping up my calories too much. I had another one of the Bloom protein drinks and I had half of the tofu pudding. So I don't know what the math is, but I will put it up on the screen every day. I think this day was a little bit lower on protein than what I would want to have. So I definitely need to tweak some things a little bit, maybe add in some more egg whites or just find creative ways to add in more protein. I've been trying to find ways to eat like ground beef in a different way, chicken in a different way, especially chicken because it's very lean and high protein, but I'm not a huge fan of chicken. So I'm trying to find new recipes, and if I find any really good ones, I will share them with you. But I think I did okay for that day. Since that day, I have been continuing on the same thing. I pretty much have the same types of food every day, and I've really been on like a roasted veggie, roasted garlic kick. So that's what I've been having with some meat. Either I'll do like a little tuna salad on the side, or chicken or shrimp, especially shrimp. That's my favorite form of protein, and that's what I've been eating pretty much every day. So I might do another one of these, what I eat in the days. You guys let me know down below if you like this style video. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. And until the next video. Bye, friends.